National salute. In your well-articulated manifesto, you stated, amongst others, that your governance is going to be based on open governance and performance management. Today, we are here gathered to tell Ebonyians what you've achieved over the short period of time. It is in line with your vision to ensure that governance is based on the needs and wants of the people. Today, Your Excellency, members of the State Executive Council are going to tell the whole world what you have achieved through their respective ministries. It is still morning on Operation Day, because what we are going to hear today is the testament and the direction of what Ebonyians are going to expect in the next 8 years. On this note, let me thank His Excellency for making today's event possible. And on that note, I want to thank all of us for being part of history today. Thank you, and God bless us all.
As your chief servant, the chief servant of our state, Ebonyi State, as your governor, to bring before you our modest achievement and significant step so far. As government's assumption of office on May 29, 2023, I appreciate God Almighty for seeing us worthy to serve you in the body. At this critical point in the history of our nation, Nigeria, you made it possible to vote for us, believing in our agenda, teamed People's Charter of Need, very much ambiguous manifesto of ours, meant to consolidate on the beautiful achievement of the previous administration of Engineer Chief David umahi. We have since then started work, and today we are 152 days in office as the drivers of policies that suit your need and strategies for implementing said. We began by calling on the service of a mix of trust professionals and bureaucrats from among us to serve you in the various capacities. These opportunities we gave to most of the appointees of government are in different cadres. We have personal assistants, special assistants, senior special assistants to the governor. Unfortunately, as it stands today, we don't have special advisor. Principal officers of government and honorable commissioners we have. These commissioners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, are ones we tried the policies, the programs, and the implementation of our dear manifesto as the need of the people demand, following the dictate of our dear manifesto. Today we are here to interact with you and for the commissioners to inform you of our modest stride as it concerns their respective ministries since we took up this mandate. May I importantly note that today's event portrays our commitment to the tenets of democracy, transparency, respect to the right of our good people, the finest people of our dear state. Significantly, this is coming few hours before Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary and the 27th anniversary of the creation of our dear state, Ebonyi. Our first celebration of this momentous occasion as government on a belief and also on a brief note, we can comfortably state that we have engaged in a blend of action to serve the current need of Ebonyi people, while setting foundations for the future. As government, we understand that our eyes must be built in securing the future of our children, but as well satisfying your immediate needs. Within this month in office, we have found a balance between these two important levels. May I seize this opportunity to appreciate the great support of the Ebonyi people so far. You have continued to lend in your voices when we call on you. You have collaborated with us to serve you better. We request that you continue in this light because government cannot do it alone. We count on you, we count on your prayers, your ingenuities, your advices, constructively and a very good constructive criticism is part of what we need in our government. And patience at all times, because we are not perfect. Let me equally appreciate our dear stakeholders, traditional fathers, religious leaders, our great men of God, for their guidance and steady encouragement in these past few months. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that together we deliver good governance, good development of democracy to our people and take Ebonyi State to the success stage. It is therefore my honor and privilege to declare this platform open and call on all of you to feel free and engage us constructively, knowing fully well that we are here to serve you. We believe and trust in the individual capacity of our dear commissioners. As your governor, I promise that we will continue to make you proud. Our goal is to bequeath peace and success to you. We will achieve this and many more through Christ our Lord. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Can we appreciate His Excellency one more time? Thank you very much, Excellency. We appreciate you. Your Excellency, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to move over to the Honorable Commissioners.
Been able to achieve from the time from May 29 till date through the Ministry of Justice is our first. We digitized and had an automated Ebonyi State Ministry of Justice with case managed system. We now have an e-Ministry of Justice. It helps us in our case flow. With your handset, you can be at home and check the status of our cases in court and see what we're doing at the Ministry of Justice. All you need to do is just to Google www.ebonyistatemoj.org. Then you will see our digitized, automated e-justice, e-Ministry of Justice. And that's what we've been able to do. Now when lawyers go to court, they come back and update our system. We'll be able to know lawyers who are not serious with their matters, and then we'll call them to order to know why they are not serious with our matters. It's a world-class automated e-justice system that we can beat our chest and faith we've bequeathed through the Ministry of Justice, through this administration. One thing about this administration through the Ministry of Justice is that when we came on board, we discovered that the justice system that we have in Ebonyi State, and by extension in Nigeria, is restorative justice system. Restorative justice system is a type of justice system that uses two approaches in crime management. First, punishment, and vengeance. So we spoke to ourselves and said there is a need for paradigm shift from this restorative justice system that we currently have from this retributive justice system that we currently have to a restorative justice system that we ought to have. We looked at the revelational judgment that Chukwudifio Okuta, late of the Justice of the Supreme Court, held in the case of Godwin Josiah against the state in 1985 as reported in Nigerian Law Report Part 125. That justice should not be a one-way traffic, not even a two-way traffic, but a three-way traffic. First, justice to the accused. Second, justice to the victim. Third, justice to the society. The justice system we have is a one-way traffic justice system that provides justice only to the accused. So at the Ministry of Justice, we did an intentional paradigm shift because we looked at what we should do to have the justice system that we ought to have, which is restorative justice system. So we had to look at the enabling laws that will help us to achieve that. And we found out that we have the Ebonyi State Administration of Criminal Justice Law of 2019. That legal framework helped us to create a paradigm shift from the retributive justice system that we have to a restorative justice system that we ought to have. The beauty of this restorative justice system that we have shifted to is that instead of using two approaches in crime management, it uses four approaches in crime management. First is reconciliation. It is a justice system that reconciles a criminal defendant with the victim. Second is restoration. It is a justice system that helps to restore the society into pre-crime situation. So then the third is re-institution. It is a justice system that helps to pay compensation to a victim of crime, especially victims of violent crime. And then fourthly is a justice system that uses the pillar of reintegration. Who do we reintegrate? We reintegrate ex-offenders back into the society after serving their jail term without stigmatization. So right now we are working on a bill that will provide for in Ebonyi State victim remedy compensation, whereby victims of crime can be compensated either by the accused persons or by the state, especially in violent crimes. The second thing we've been able to do under this administration is that we decided to visit the Nigerian custodial centers. We have two centers, custodial centers in Ebonyi State. Number one is the Abakaliki Custodial Center. Number two is the Africo Custodial Center. When we visited the Abakaliki Custodial Center, we were shocked to our marrows. What did we do? What did we see? We saw that Correctional Service in Abakaliki is built to warehouse 387 inmates. That prison yard is built to accommodate 387 inmates. But the day we visited them, we discovered that the Abakaliki Custodial Center is warehousing 1,336 inmates. I personally entered into one of the cells and I counted the number of inmates inside the custodial center in one of the rooms, the cells, and I found 126 inmates in one cell. 126 inmates in one room. And we were displeased. Now, out of the 1,336 inmates, we did an investigation to discover that some of them are there and they are even sick. 9 had contagious tuberculosis. 5 were mentally sick. 6 had HIV positive. And they were kept in the same center. So what we did was to come out and say, okay, how do we, as a matter of urgency, decongest the system, decongest the prisons, and look at the people who are not supposed to be there to be able to come out. And then people who are supposed to be there should remain there. I gave an instruction to the management team of the Ministry of Justice to sworn into action and give an accelerated attention to all the case files, especially the inmates who do not have case files and they are kept in the custodial centers. I am happy to announce to you, Ebonians, that from June 1st till date, we've been after that exercise, we've been able to receive 128 case files from the police and from the court. And then we've been able, out of that 128 case files, we've been able to find information at the High Court, 75 cases. And then we have enable us conclude our matters. Now, because of time, we also discovered that some cases ought not to be in court. And some Ebonians who have cases do not have money. So what we quickly did was to establish a center called Ebonyi State Ministry of Justice Citizens Mediation Center, where Ebonians who cannot afford to pay legal services come to the Ministry of Justice and resolve their matters free of charge. From June 1st to date, we've been able to conclude 46 cases. We have resolved 46 cases free of charge at the Ministry of Justice. My Lord, the CJ is here. Currently, we have Ebonyi State multi-door courthouse. At the multi-door courthouse, businessmen and people who do not want to go to court can go to the multi-door courthouse and resolve their commercial dispute through mediation, negotiation, arbitration, conciliation, without going through litigation process. Finally, because of paucity of time, we've been able to create 3 additional departments at the Ministry of Justice. The first is the Department of Appeal. The Department of Appeal is responsible for all our appellate cases, and they have been filed. We have also created the Department of Sexual Assault and Gender-Based Violence Response to take care of all cases of rapes in Nigeria and in Ebonyi State. And then finally, we have created another department called the Department of Legal Research, Law Reporting and ICT. This department is responsible for documenting everything we do. They are responsible for the production of Ebonyi State Ministry of Justice journals, and currently we are working with my Lord to see that the judgment of the High Court of Ebonyi State is read by others. So very soon we'll be having Ebonyi State High Court, Ebonyi State Law Report that will contain notable landmark judgment of our judges in Ebonyi State High Court, so that others outside this jurisdiction will be able to keep copies of our law reports and use it to develop their own jurisprudence. Thank you, and welcome.
Thank you very much. Very beautiful presentation. Very handsome presentation from a handsome man. Please, a round of applause once again to the Attorney General Commissioner of Justice, Dr. Ben Uruchizodo. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please would like to appeal to subsequent speakers to speak.
That the office of the head of service is strictly service-oriented and has delivered and will continue to fulfill all its statutory functions. We have achieved effective delivery of these core assignments from May 2023 till date. My office has handled responsibility of providing leadership and direction to all 71 ministries, departments, and government agencies in the state, being the custodian of ethics, ethos, traditions, and conventions of the civil and public service. We have upheld the core services and the core values of the service, which includes honesty, integrity, impartiality, in coordinating various activities of the sector of government. My office has also maintained the institution that is well structured and better organized, whose staff possess the right attitude and motivation to work effectively and efficiently to deliver quality service to our people in line with the visions of the state government. It has optimally utilized available human and material resources through the deployment of competent and well-motivated workforce to specific assignments and has achieved seamless and effective service delivery. These assignments have been not limited also to provision of relevant data and information for the day-to-day administration and decision-making. With the wealth of knowledge and experience only found in this service, this office has played advisory roles to the state government in handling service matters as concerns career development and progression, deployment, recruitment, discipline, development and review of conditions of service, and the overall welfare of 8,727 state civil servants, 2,851 state pensioners, 15,730 state public servants, comprising of SEB and UBEB, 198 staff of the Ebonyi House of Assembly Service Commission. We have 342 staff of the High Court, 222 staff of the Customary Court, 19 staff of the Judicial Service Commission. Specifically, with all of this in mind, I will now proceed to itemize some of the achievements specific to my office. Top on this agenda is the fact that this state government honored all applications of next of kins and approved the payment of 3.8 million as death benefits to 90 civil and public servants who died in active service between 2018 and 2023. Prior to this, death benefits were last paid in May 2018. My office also identified existing vacancies in the service and sought to fill it. We have approved through His Excellency the recruitment of 195 medical personnel. These have been duly recruited and posted to healthcare facilities across the state. The government also approved the recruitment of 1,454 staff to fill gaps created by retirements, deaths, and the like existing in the service in the past 8 years. The processes to date is still ongoing. The administration has also approved and implemented the payment of 10,000 Naira as wage award to civil and public servants to cushion the effect of the removal of the fuel subsidy. Wanting to note that this was the first in the Southeast, and this idea was conceived even before the idea was conceived nationwide. The administration has shown unwavering commitment to restore the dignity of labor in its workforce by the prompt payment of salaries, the prompt payment of pensions, and recently the approval of the payment of 3,851,763,617.65 Naira as gratuities owed in the last 25 years between 1996 and 2021. The process has also commenced, and as we speak, 300 pensioners have received full benefits of their gratuities. also received approval for the production of electronic identification cards for 8,727 civil and public servants and 2,851 pensioners. This is aimed at supporting identification, authentication, authorization, and accountability of the workforce. The process leading to this distribution is also in progress. There's renewed facilitation of home renovation loans from the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to interested civil and public servants. The process is seamless, and as civil servants are able to procure loans to the tune of 1 million naira to be paid over 3 years. There's also increased workers' effectiveness through constant monitoring of attendance to work by a standing committee. We have the vanguard on attitudinal change who go around to ensure cleanliness of the environment in the state secretariat and also to ensure attendance to work. We have prompt and effective processing of benefits and entitlements of civil and public servants serving and retired. There are no more delays in effecting the necessary changes and the necessary needs of files. So far, this office has facilitated a harmonious relationship with the labor centers of the TUC, the Trade Union Congress, the NLC, which is poised to realize the visions of the People's Charter of Needs concept of His Excellency, the Governor. The only issues are those inherited by the union's dissatisfaction at the federal level. We are hoping that the seeds of the Father will not be visited on the stones.
All of Ebonyi. My ministry is a practical ministry. It's not a theory. It's talk and do ministry. As it is play, it will show. This is 152 days in the administration of His Excellency. And I can tell you, if you go to the street, you will see the touches. You will see Oma touching the streets. We have implement and ongoing projects. And some of all these projects will be commissioned shortly. If you go to Agro Farm, you will see 1.3 kilometer road, rigid pavement, solid, and is ongoing there. If you go to Allo Street, you will see how the road was bad. When you can go there, you will see the touches, causing of Homo Freeman. If you go to my 50 layout, you will see 4.5 kilometer road, dualized with street lights, drainage, causing of Homo Freeman. If you go to Ebonyi Street, if you go to Bridge Street, if you go to some of the streets in the town, you will see the touches of our frequency. That is just the grand one. We have about 15 slots of projects, which is ongoing now. And we have, this project is all about approximately, we'll be looking up to 200 and something kilometers. We have the one of Ezego to Izola, that is 21.825 kilometers. We have the habitation of Omagado, which is 23 kilometers. We have Overdage, that is about 12.825 kilometers. Let me tell you one thing about this. These projects are going to be completed within 8 months. 8 months. And these projects have been awarded to the well-qualified contractors. And the good thing about this contractor was not just that we picked them. It was through e-procurement. You can see our states have gone to a teacher award of project. If you know part of it, you know how we open our bid and you see how it goes successful. Now in the transport sector of it, the Ministry of Works and Transport are developing and implementing enforcement of traffic. This is to enable safety in the capital city. Now we are engaging the stakeholders to implement and also regulate into its enforcement. Now, the Ministry of Works and Transport, in the financial management, we have demonstrated and implement a transparent budgeting and provisions and placing and portioning of this budget into a transparency fund. Therefore, the Ministry of Works and Transport, we are looking at the construction, all the road that we are going to implement and construct this administration. I tell you, 50 years guarantee. 50 years guarantee. And the Excellency is ready and is ever ready to implement this project. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
When you hear someone or listen to someone that speaks more practical, sometimes you may not know the value. When the commissioner started talking, he said that we have about 15 lots of jobs that have been published, and the Public Procurement Council has done justice to that by awarding it to very reputable contractors. Good and fine. The question would have been, can you be able to tell us these roads, how we get it up to 15 lots? So that is the area I want to explain, because as the governor, I oversee all the ministries, and there is nothing Let me take 5 minutes to explain what he meant, and when the Commissioner for Justice spoke very eloquently well, but I want to tell everyone that the 13 knowledge he said he filed and has obtained in the court is not on much criminal cases that is against individuals. Many of these cases were against the state. We know all the criminal cases are against the state, but these ones are minor criminal cases. Some are not the truth that was presented before the authority, and that is why we decided to file those cases, because Constitution gave him power to file, to take over, to prosecute, and to file the knowledge. But Constitution did not say to him to file it when the case is against the state, and that he did. And I want to assure you that what he did is right, and it's not against any individuals. There's a laid down procedure in this state. Even if the states have interest in the case, the parties must be part of that case. And that is why the Commissioner decided to move from the destructive to restorative system of restorative system of judicial process. And I want to assure you that I am part and parcel of those that initiated the multi-door courthouse. And the CJ is here. He's a very good man. In so many occasions, in so many states, many CJs refuse to adhere to that, to agree with the public. But that is the modern way of resolving issues. This saves money, it saves time. People cannot see it as if you take him to court or you take him to police. It's the modest way of resolving issues. When you talk about conciliation, negotiation, and mediation, when you talk about conciliation, it's just the parties will sit down and be talking, while the person that is in charge will be listening and give them the leeway. Once he makes his remark, he will listen to the parties themselves, and the parties can sort out their issues, and he will enter it. Sometimes he sends it to court for implementation, and that becomes the judgment of the court. The same way it happens in mediation, and the same way it happens in negotiation. Look, what takes us to court is all about disagreement. Sometimes it may not be the fact that takes us to court. It may be some other small issues that causes the disagreement that takes us to court. And that is the essence of believing that the implementation of establishing multi-law courthouse in Ebonyi is necessary. And the former administration decided to sign the law because we did the law in the House of Assembly and we sent it to the governor then. He signed it and having been assented to, he left the implementation, and that is what we are doing now. Then to the Ministry of Works, from Ukubara Junction to Oflepe is 42-kilometer road. That's why I say commissioner would have been more practical. That wasn't mentioned. That road generates a lot of revenue for the state because all the sand, both private and public use here in Ebonyi, comes from that area. Almost 90% of the sand for buildings come from that area. And the road is a federal road, but it's totally dilapidated. It's in a very deplorative shape today, and I don't think anybody can apply that road now to Oflepe water scheme. And that is the essence, because within the water scheme there is another electricity project that is coming on there, which I think is owned by TCN and private sectors. It's also coming in that area too. So the road becomes very necessary that we do it. And that is why we decided to embark on it for contractors, because we want to complete this at time, on a time that we make use of it. Even if you borrow money and also enjoy the benefit and the value of the money. And that is the essence of decided to divide the road into 4 lots. And the 4 lots have been awarded to the very reputable contractors. We hope that the contractors, with their credentials made available to the government and to the public procurement that did the award, that they will give us what we want. Then Hero Service said that we have agreed to employ 1,454. That is only for the executive. The judiciary are doing their own implementation of employment. I think they have only 150. House of Assembly, there is balances, will also do the same. So I am not, the executive are not the one employing for the judiciary, they are also not the one employing for the legislators, they are autonomous. Since 2018, the House of Assembly and the judiciary became autonomous. We started the implementation in December 2018. So let me sincerely thank the ministries for the evidence of democracy they have been able to show to our people and strength. But also to urge you to know that Ministry of Works and Ministry of Infrastructure is more practical than theory, and we shouldn't look at it. I also say this at the national television. When you listen to people, don't look at their language, because this borrowing language that we borrowed, I believe that is more needed in our own society, in our own home. And our own mother tongue is not right, and I disbelieve on that. I am dissatisfied 100%. I believe that we should do much in introducing our language in our profession and teach our people.
Thank you.
His Excellency didn't stop at that. Immediately after the inauguration on the May 29th, he motivated my ministry, which is the mother ministry, to take care of the poor, the less privileged, and the vulnerable ones in Ebonyi State, and make sure that the welfare of Ebonyians are taken care of. We started with feeding the people with food items and relief materials to people who were affected by fuel disaster, fuel subsidy disaster, economic disaster, flood disaster, and so many other disasters. We didn't stop at that. After that one, we flagged up the distribution of debit cards and cash, which we flagged up on the 2nd of August, and we continued disbursement of cash from one local government to another local government across the 13 local government areas, from the 2nd of August to 26th of September 2023. His Excellency, our dear Governor, is a welfare and a humanitarian governor. He moved out and said get a difference. And he approved 10,000 naira increase in our civil servant salary. He was the first to do that in the whole country. The head of service didn't remember to put that one. His Excellency didn't stop at that. He approved 1 billion naira for 500 Ebonyi youths under the youth empowerment, where our youths who are in Lagos, Abuja, Onitsha, and different cities, hawking, they will be given 2 million naira each. Within the next 1 week, they have been profiled. His Excellency also approved 50 million naira where people with small businesses, we are empowering them with 50,000 and 100,000 naira and above. His Excellency, our dear Governor, under the Ministry of Human Capital, has attracted NCC gadgets, which we have mounted in international market for easy networking and transfer. No more, if you go to market, you will say that the network is not working. Based on that, you cannot do transactions. Since last week, the traders in Ebonyi State have manifested to that effect that it has been implemented. And then also under the human capital development, His Excellency attracted a special package from the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, where about 64,000 Ebonians will be empowered from next week. People will get food items, relief items, home items, even grinding machines, things that we may use to establish different businesses. His Excellency, our dear Governor, under the Ministry of Human Capital Development and Monitoring, went ahead to attract the e-library system, which with effect from 2nd week of November across the universities, we will now have e-library, so that wherever you are, you can always access your hangout, your notes, your lectures in Ebonyi State. You know, in other human capital development, we cut across different ministries. Under human capital development, you're supposed to take care of the people, both under education, both in health, both in their agriculture. So that's why it's like we are touching so many areas. Across the 13 local government areas in Ebonyi State. Very soon, there will be CBT centers in all the local government areas, so that you don't need to travel far and wide to go and get your exam. Under human capital development and monitoring, we also have payments that His Excellency for the health and welfare has paid for kidney transplant for more than 4 Ebonians at the cost of 15 million naira each. And again, under the human capital development, His Excellency has attracted 3 IDP centers that will be built and furnished across the 3 senatorial zones in Ebonyi State, so that people who were affected by any communal crisis will have a shelter. We call it a one-stop shelter. In that one-stop shelter, it will be furnished. They will have their schools, markets, everything will be there for them, for easy accessibility. His Excellency, under our ministry, has gone to the grassroots for community project development. We are training 72 communities who will benefit from World Bank project committee project. There will be project beneficiaries. We are going to build some
Manifesto. In our manifesto, the state is very clear that we'll be having town hall meetings explaining to Ebonians what we've been able to put in place within some time. Now, what she meant by saying that we are giving His Excellency approved 1 billion it's just the ESCO approved, although checked by the governor. What she meant clearly is that our intention earlier was to give this money to those living outside Ebonyi that is hawking. But there's a lot of workers here in Ebonyi that also said no, we are part of them, is it because we're in Ebonyi? We're also hawking here in Ebonyi. So we must benefit. And it's at that point that the whole ESCO now agreed that since we have it in 3 segments, and the first phase is to give 1 billion, the second phase 1 billion, and the third phase 1 billion, at the interval of 4 months. Now, this, as far as I'm concerned, based on the chairman, because the ESCO set up a committee chaired by the Commissioner for Trade and Investment. And Commissioner for Trade and Investment, I said, no ESCO member will contribute 1 name there. No government officials, including the governor, will nominate 1 person to benefit from that. If you want your uncles, your cousins, your brothers and sisters that are hawking to stop hawking, and you have the opportunity of being the government officials like the commissioners, the SSS, you have the capacity to pull him out of that. It's the same thing with the employment we talked about. That's why I said it clear that ESCO has made a lot of sacrifices. In employment, we agreed in ESCO that no ESCO member will call the Chairman Civil Service Commission to give her name. We should give opportunity for the poor of the poor. Those that got admission in the year 2000, and by the special grace of God, they graduated in 2004. And since 2004 to date, 19 good years, are still carrying files. Going from one place to another, seeking for opportunity to serve, should be given opportunity to serve. And some people also introduced that the Chairman Civil Service Commission talks about those that have certificates and those that have statement of results. 5,000.
I want to stand on the already very well established, in the People's Charter of Need. Education forms #1 in its agenda, and that is why it has spared no rock to ensure that we get the best in that sector. In the first place, His Excellency, knowing the challenges we are facing in our own dear state university, the Ebonyi State University, we have problem of paying salaries and so many infrastructural deficits. The first, within a few days of assumption of office, through the ministry, increased the subvention of our university from 150 million to 200 million every month. In the same vein, he released funds that clear the areas of salaries that were being owed to staff of the university immediately after assumption of office. And as if that was not enough, the university was owing the staff 8 months, 20% cut-off over the incident of COVID-19. He released funds that assisted the university to clear the 8 months arrears of 20% cut-off in COVID-19, and to facilitate other intervention challenges, he released 200 million to the university for them to tackle some of the challenges they are facing. And as we speak, he also increased the subvention of the Ebonyi State College of Education in Poe from 50 million to 65 million to enable them to handle the salaries and running costs of the college. And has also put machinery in motion, I'm a member of the committee, to ensure that the college is upgraded to a degree awarding institution, because some of the challenges we are facing there is that the capacity, the strength of the university is falling. because of the SCU they are awarded. So this time, Excellency has issued a motion to ensure that the university is upgraded to a specialized university and also handle the issue of NCE program. His Excellency has also put machinery in motion to establish two brand new specialist universities, the University of Information and Communication Technology and the University of Aeronautic Engineering. And as we speak, the ground for the establishment of the University of ICT at Ofereta is ongoing. The site is being cleared. His Excellency has also put machinery in motion to upgrade the School of Nursing at Uburu and the School of Health at Example. And then also to upgrade our institutions, tertiary institutions in the state. His Excellency sent six-man team to go to Rwanda. The essence is to go and understudy what they are doing there to upgrade our educational institutions in the state. And that is not ending in Kigali. It's also put special measures to ensure that our team also go to different universities, not only in Rwanda, but in the European Union and also in the United Kingdom. And due to the fairness of conveniences and institutions have approved that every tertiary institution in the state, particularly the state-owned institutions, are going to establish a modern toilet system where the public, the students can easily access places they can ease themselves across all the campuses of the university, and has also paid bursary awards to deserving students in Nigerian law school, all Ebonyians in Nigerian law schools, and has granted scholarship to deserving Ebonyians to study abroad, the latest of which was 11 million naira scholarship grant given to Mr. Collins, able to go to the College of Medicine to study to do a master's program at the University of East London. And there are flagging papers on me. I won't conclude this without mentioning that the governor that we have here, the workaholic governor, has provided the enabling environment and the political will for Ebonyi State Commissioner for Tertiary Education to emerge as the interim chairman of Commissioners of Education at the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And His Excellency has already mentioned some of the things he's doing concerning ICT in our institutions. On this note, I want to thank the members of the press, all Ebonyians and Nigerians for this opportunity to interface with you. Very pleased.
Your Excellency, I'm also looking to, among other ministries and commissioners, to be the first to receive the ESCO approval. I'm very grateful, Your Excellency. That give us the opportunity to roll our drums. Your Excellency, you directed that we commence immediately the resettlement program of our people who are affected by communal crisis, capital city development through housing estate developments. Your Excellency, we started immediately, and today we can stand boldly to say that that program has started. A few days ago, Ebonyians and indeed the world witnessed the flagging of the construction of 140 units of 3-bedroom for the people of Amazon and the so-called communities. Your Excellency, as I speak now, contractors are on site and work is progress. Your Excellency, this housing estate has a sister project as well. The good people of Izi and Abakaliki local governments have their own share of this project. 140 units of 3-bedroom bungalows to be sited beside or at the back of Centenary City for the displaced people of Izi and Abakaliki local government. Your Excellency, also wanted to note is that you gave us the opportunity to discuss with our world. Your Excellency, we have had a series of meetings with both local and international estate developers and in no due time, not distant time, Your Excellency, we will start implementing our discussions and resolutions. Your Excellency, may I also thank you for these people-oriented projects. One thing is to have a project, the other thing is to side project that will really impact the life of the people. Your Excellency, the project we started at Izo and Ames is one that will go a long way healing our people from the long suffering. Thank you, and God bless you, Your Excellency.
I want to thank His Excellency, and I want to thank God first for giving us a great farmer as a governor this time around. And he said under his watch that Ebonyi farmers will be smiling. He didn't waste time, he approved the sum of 100 million naira as counterpart fund for IFAD. You people know that IFAD is doing very well in Ebonyi State. They are working in 8 local governments and they are investing over 1 billion naira in Ebonyi State. His Excellency didn't waste time. He approved the distribution of 13,000 bags of fertilizer to all the genuine and real farmers in Ebonyi State, and we have distributed it to the farmers, and the farmers are very happy. Your Excellency, thank you so much. Your Excellency, I want to let Ebonians know that we have revived Ebonyi State Fertilizer Company. It's working now. We reopened the Ebonyi State Fertilizer Company on 17th July 2023, and since then, our commercial activities have started. We are doing very well. We produce all kinds of fertilizer, different kinds of fertilizer there. NPK, urea, etc. We are doing very well in that place. And we want to use this opportunity to tell our people, Nigerians, everybody that is watching us, that they should patronize us. And the federal government too, let them be patronizing us, because we are the best in Southeast. And it was only last week somebody from Plateau State called me and said that they will be buying from us because we have one of the best fertilizers in Ebonyi State. Your Excellency, in the rice production, Your Excellency, we are having some challenges, because if we continue to produce, to be farming only in wet season, there's no way we will meet up with Kebbi, Taraba, Benue, etc. And we have to think outside the box. And His Excellency approved that I should go to Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. I went there with
networks on the 2-kilometer of Rebi Imano of Rich Market Road, and is ready for complete pavement. We have also completed networks on the 700-meter road at Tomo, leading to the injection substation that will give us power from there to our international airport. We have completed the design of the following projects advertised presently for award on contract. The 3.8-kilometer road in Excellency, which we call Ugochima Road, 2-kilometer Obueni Ndibe Beach Road project in Afikpo, 1.8-kilometer road in Umwana, including Ayodele Junction to Ereyi Road, Academy and roundabout Oyoyo Junction to President Church in Umwana. The extension of the concrete pavement along Academy to Ido Junction. Also advertised the 13.48-kilometer Oriuso Onweke Road in Exam North and South local government areas. The 2.6-kilometer Amanko Aneru Ogibe Road with 2 spots in Afikpo. Work has also started on the 600 meters legacy FM road. We have also pre-qualified contractors to design the 2-kilometer roads promised by His Excellency to the various communities. By next week, they will start work, and I wish to request our various communities to cooperate with these consultants as they visit you to take statistics of these routes and design them for award of contract. Thank you, Excellency.
Governor, Right Honorable Builder Francis Ogunamifu, in the area of youth and sports development in the first 152 days. The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports is charged with the responsibility of policy formulation and implementation of youth and sports development program at the grassroots. The ministry also supervises the activities of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, the State Sports Council, and the National Youth Service Corps. The major achievement of the Executive Governor, Francis Ogunamifu, in the youth and sports sector in the first 152 days of his administration can be highlighted as follows. His Excellency, the Executive Governor, graciously approved meal subsidy for corps members during their orientation camp programs. Such approval has not been possible in past years. The Governor also approved monthly subvention to the National Youth Service Corps to help facilitate their day-to-day administration and other logistics. His Excellency has also approved allocation of office residential accommodation for the State Coordinator NYSC. The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, through the magnanimity of the Governor, organized a monthly long interlocal government cup football competition. At the end of the football fiesta, 60 players was selected who shall form the nucleus of the anticipated state football club. The ministry also secured His Excellency's approval for the Ebonyi State participation at the just concluded 7th National Youth Game tagged as Sabi 2023, where Ebonyi secured 2 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze. Pangele Orita Stadium has been given a facelift, courtesy of His Excellency approval. The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports attracted a friendly football match which featured Rangers International Football Club held at Pangele Orita Township Stadium, Abakaliki. Activities that are yet to offload. School sports that His Excellency has directed the ministry to come up with a memo to organize it. Football school academy, where youths are trained in the field of sports for representation both national and outside the country. His Excellency has graciously approved the formation of state football team, which the process has started at the national level. His Excellency has also approved the National Youth Council Nigeria, the Congress Unity Lecture, local government.